Okay, so Randy and Ashley, you want to head over to medical professions? Either of you have a notepad to take
I
some
can
notes?
bring one.
Yeah, I don't, but
We are going to medical professions to talk more about a project that we're doing together, which is going to be a life-size game of operation. We're gonna do kind of the more graphics, like how it's gonna look in the end.
Hey, awesome. Good morning. How are you?
good, how are you?
Good. The medical professions students and I were collaborating on how we could collaborate to involve middle school students more and also work together as programs, because as you guys know, we get in our little rooms and it kind of feels like we're on separate islands, right? So we wanted to do a project to bring us together. So we came up with the potential idea of building a life-size game of operation. So big, like, 5-6 foot by 3 foot on adjustable legs that we could have for open house if we're able to get that deadline, and either take to middle schools or invite middle schools here to see it and play it, and have my students do a mini anatomy lesson about the body, and then let them play the game to do something hands-on fun to reinforce it. So last meeting, is it Mr. Hopwood?
Yeah.
Hopwood, I wasn't sure if it was Hopwood or Hopwood. Mr. Hopwood, Cal Hopwood from our Digital Media Arts 2 class had a great idea. As we were brainstorming ideas and what might work and what might not, he said it'd be really great just to get the actual board game, play it, touch it, feel it, let you dissect it, take it apart, see what's inside of it, and then really start talking about how we can collaborate to build it and what we need for parts, and put together a budget and a proposal. So you guys are welcome to pull one of those boxes open.
The main question is, are you guys trying to go off of this look, or do you want to use like a life-size, like real person picture?
I think that's where I would prefer not to have that look, just something a little more professional and presentable. And you may want to like literally take off the paper and see what's underneath it for like wires and if you start kind of making a list of what things that you think you might need, we'll talk about doing a budget. We'll start discussing a mini, we talked about making like a mini 12 by 12 just tester with like the electrical unit and just a hole cut in the plywood and for DMA to try to make something to stick to it.
So what if we, what if for a tester we actually use this exact platform? Maybe we would make the new plywood and the DMA can have a picture of Mr. Derner or whatever, but so it would be just easier for electrical so they don't have to redo this for the template. If we just make this exactly like this, except just maybe like built up, so it's not in a little plastic chintzy red box.
Yep.
But would have like this same exact holes and everything else. We just have a different picture on the front.
No,
But actual.
You can order them off Amazon, like the rubber ones.
Yep, excellent point. So I would prefer to not have like a little plastic
Pencil and
thing that you could be the point person to do some research to see cost and where we could find them. We'll have to know the sizes and dimensions.
yeah.
Also, I was just thinking for the practicality of what DMA can produce, maybe the max size of the project could be what their post or their color printer can print. I mean, obviously we can maybe do a double and two posters if we have to together, but so I think it comes out, I don't know, what is that?
Ours is 16 inches by infinite.
There you go, right. So what do you think of that, Tracy?
Yeah, like we can do that's like probably, yeah, we get 16 inches wide and infinite length.
Alright.
So,
Yeesh.
So what do you think of that? This could be the size.
That's too small.
Too small?
too small.
So then we're gonna have to.
What about if it was just longer?
We're gonna have to do
Yeah,
like
you can
two
make it infinite.
posters then,
Right.
2 poster size.
Because they could do as long as you want.
Right, and
Yeah,
we could
just-
do it that, you're right, we could do it that width. and then twice as long.
Twice as long, like this
Yeah.
way, like a.
Or whatever
full-size.
picture we end up, if we use a picture of some, we can make it so that it fills the width, and then whatever that height ends up being, that's
Okay.
then we definitely would want.
No, it's my turn. I'm only gonna take one.
One of his organs is stuck under here, I think.
Dylan,
Right
what
under
do you
there
think
is
about
just plastic?
the practicality
We
of
just
this?
need some sort of vibrate buzzer type thing.
Okay.
Maybe like even from here, maybe you can take this apart too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's electronics in the back.
Do you think that that would be strong enough to use on the whole board?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Do you want to take, like, rip off the front and like just make some notes and then talk to Mr. Lyford about it in your class when you
Yeah.
bring it back to your class?
I'll probably do that.
When I was a kid, I remember it being a lot more of a painful of a shock. Like, I thought, like, when I remember as a kid, like, actually getting shocked.
It was also
That's
better
interesting that you
Yeah.
say that because someone else said that to me yesterday. They're
I
like, "You're
remember
gonna shock
actually
children?"
feeling the shock.
Laughing to earn big money. But instead of saying funny bone, we're going to put the actual name of the bone. Humorous bone. Sam bumped his elbow and it's feeling funny. So that's, you know, when you bump that elbow and you hit that nerve, which is part of your humerus, and people call it your funny bone. So we're going to actually use the anatomy.
The actual model that's in EMS, super less expensive than buying individual things that may not be the same structure and width. So I don't know, just a thought. Material.
I think that's
It's not that hard either.
So you don't want it to be so soft, we can just rip it through the holes.
He's just working on it.
okay.
Whatever it needs to be.
You'll be making the well, so Expo will be doing the well.
Tracy, not enough body parts in my lap.
Okay, so we need to order body parts.
How many pieces is there?
Be nice. This is Mr. Smith.
Who's that?
What?
This is Mr. Smith. Gentleman.
Bones. There's bones.
Bread basket. Miss T, I have another idea.
He was
So there you go.
he was a patient for a very long time.
There's your.
Yeah, I have another idea.
I loved him so much, I put him in a box and brought him.
I love them so much, I stuck them in a box.
Perfect.
We can talk about whether or not we want to put our program collaboration names on it. Do we want to rename it something other than Team Operation? So those are things that we can think about, and maybe you guys can help guide us in what we should be thinking about. So we might not be able to use this
No,
one.
because that would be over.
Yep. All right.
Actually,
Good.
This, or do we want a piece of plywood right to the end and then the box underneath? Making it exact of how it would look if it was a big one or a little one, just for construction purposes, but either way.
8:30, and I'll make sure that that works for your instructors. Sound good?
Awesome.
All right. Adjourned.
Good job. Collaborating. Yep, looking
Nice
forward to
work.
this.
More brains, the better.
Hey, Dylan, you want?